Shout out to all my guys and goddesses checking out this video. I am C, the spiritual goddess, here for another video. In today's video, I wanted to do an updated reading on Drake. I wanted to see how does the industry feel about him and what's next for his career. You know, I got a lot of comments, a lot of DMs, people asking me, will Drake's career recover from all this beef? I did predict months ago, I told you guys months ago before this beef even happened, that Drake was going to go through his hate train. So we're going to get into all of that, how he will respond and how will his career go on after that. And yeah, guys, this is part one. The second video will be on Kendrick Lamar, so make sure you guys leave me some questions on him afterwards, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into this reading. Before we do, don't forget tarot readings are for entertainment purposes. My interpretations of the cards is just that, my interpretations. If you want to book your readings, now's the time. You can email me. I do have readings available. So let's go ahead and get into Drake, okay? So I want to know the industry overall in the whole, not Metro Boomin, Rick Ross, those people who coming up against him. I want to know, how does the industry overall feel about everything that went down post Drake Kendrick beef? You know, they said Kendrick won the beef. So I want to know, how does the industry feel overall post Kendrick beef? How does the industry as a whole feel with everything that's came out about Drake? Now, I do find it funny that, I will say this, on social media, looks like people believe more of what Kendrick has to say and less what Drake has to say. In my personal opinion, outside of this reading, I do think we're using some terms incorrectly. Has Drake been inappropriate on stage with that one girl? Yes. We also have, you know, some people will say they don't like his conversations, even though we haven't seen those conversations with, like, Millie Bobby Brown, even though they came out and said it was innocent, was nothing to it. But I think people are throwing around that word, I'm say pedo, it rhymes with speedo, too loosely. I do feel like that, until we get concrete evidence, I do feel like, you know, that word is getting thrown around incorrectly. But we never know. Let's see how the industry feels about all of this. Let's see. All right, how does the industry feel? Show me the overall energy of the industry. Now, I will say this. I do feel like Drake got some big wigs behind him. And when I'm saying big wigs, this is not like, no, just Lil Wayne and all of them. I'm feeling like this is people in the industry. He's a cash cow for the industry. So I do get that there's a fine line when it comes to Drake. Like, people, I'm not saying you don't have people like Ross or whoever jump out the window, but I feel like there is some people who feel like, look, I'm not going to go down that road. But let's see. But there might be a lot of people who have really feelings behind Drake. Let's see. How does the industry feel as a whole? I'll tell you this. I do feel like there is some people in the industry that's turning their back a little bit. I don't want to say completely turn their back, but they're trying to distance themselves as far away so they don't be involved in this beef. I do feel like that, like on a mundane level, so some like celebrities or stars. I do feel like, though, people still look at Drake as a cash cow. I feel like Drake is probably getting a rude awakening on how people really feel about him behind his back. And I don't think he doesn't know this. Part of me thinks he knows this to a certain extent. Like, he knows this to a certain extent. I even see him distancing himself. I feel like Drake does it, like, I could be wrong, but I'm really picking up this. This has kind of made him a little paranoid in the way, like, who really messes with him. Because I do feel like, even though I stand by my prediction, I do think Drake planted the whole daughter thing, possibly, to Kendrick's team. I don't feel like that whole thing with those Ozempic pills and stuff with Kendrick used, I do not feel like that was necessarily planted. And I feel like Drake does it. It's making him not trust anyone. It's giving him a little paranoia. And if you guys know, about Drake's music, early music, and what he talked about not trusting and different things like that. So I think his spirit guides is telling him, like, you got too comfortable. So do he trust? Everyone knows it's making him a little paranoid. Yes. Are people backing away from him in a sense? I feel like not as a whole, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, I do feel like there may be some people, but as a whole, I feel like it's more so Drake that's backing away from people. I feel like this is just what I feel like. I feel like if you've been getting a collab from Drake, don't be surprised if you don't get one, child. I feel like there's a chance that you may not get one. But yeah, I do feel like there is some hesitation there. All right, so let's get into Drake's feelings then. Okay, let's get into Drake. Now, I told you, I know people think the beef is over. I don't think I think they're going to be taking shots at each other for quite some time. Let's see. How does Drake feel at this point? Let's get Drake's overall energy with everything that's coming out. Let's see. What is Drake's overall energy? That's the beef. What's Drake's overall energy? Okay, so I'm gonna say it once again. I get this guarded energy, but I feel like Drake is working on something. Like I told you guys, I'm gonna try to pin my playlist of Drake videos. I told you guys that Drake was gonna go through his hate train, but in a sense he needs this because I feel like he's kind of gotten a little complacent. Sometimes you can get complacent and be a number one, right? So what I'm picking up is this has made him an imbalance. If I have to be honest with you, this beef and seeing everyone turn has made him imbalanced. He's taking note of it. He, in a sense, feels like he's getting bullied. I'm gonna be real with you. He feels like he's getting bullied and he doesn't like that. But what I will say is this. What I will say is this is causing him to feel like he's pushed back in the corner, just like it was in the beginning of his career. And I feel like he's working on something. We're gonna get into that a little later. I do feel like that this like he was going to take a break, but I feel like he's actually going to drop something. Will it have shots thrown at Kendrick? Yes, but I feel like he's going to be open and more vulnerable, which that's what we love about Drake, if you're a Drake fan. So I do feel like he is channeling this energy into music. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another project really, really soon. Yeah. And like I said, he's also taking stock of who's really, really for him. I definitely am feeling that. Like, I feel like if you've ever been like Drake's friend in the industry or something, you just bobbing to Kendrick, or just he is cutting you loose, but he still be cool with you. No, you might not get a call back and be like, well, now what is this? I told you, look, all my barbs know he's going through his hate train era, and I feel like he's watching who's on what side of things. That's definitely the energy I'm getting. What do you guys think of that? Let's see. We're going to talk about the new music and career. And then I'm going to talk about what's going on in his house with everything going on. Okay, let's get into the music and career aspect of things. Let me confirm. Will Drake put out another project soon? Will Drake put out another project soon? He's going to be in defense mode. I'm going to tell you that right now. This page of Swarovski coming up for him. So I'm definitely getting someone who feels like their back is against the wall. I'm going to be real. As a Drake fan, this kind of is a gift and a curse if you are a Drake fan. Because this is when you get the best music from Drake. This is when you get the best Drake. I always say, when it comes to Drake, Wayne, and Nicki, when they feel like they're pushed or their back's against the wall, or you know what I'm saying, they don't have the best press or whatever it is, we get the best versions of them. In my opinion, that's why Pink Friday 2 is so good. But let's go ahead and get into Drake. Let's see. Is he dropping another project, Spirit? Yes, he's dropping another project. Let's see. When will this project be dropped? When will this project be dropped? When will this project be dropped? It's giving me, if you read it, it's too late vibe. That's what it's giving me. When will this project drop? I'm getting towards, I wouldn't be surprised if we start hearing new music now. But I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out, the full project comes out towards the end of the year, is what I'm getting. I feel like we're going to start hearing stuff in the summertime. But I wouldn't be surprised if towards the end of the year we get a full project. Let's see. How will the public perceive this project? How would the public perceive new music from Drake? How would they perceive it? Are gonna want to see what he got to say. If you're someone who think that this beef has destroyed, this is what people say, oh, Drake's career is over. That's a lie. I mean, I don't think that. I think people get mad at something for a second, then they move on to the next. Let's see. How will people perceive this project? This next project is going to be scrutinized even harder. I will get that. But I do feel like for the most part, people are going to like this project. People are going to like this project. I do feel like there's going to be mixed reviews, like more mixed reviews than normal. Because you're just going to have some people who they're not going to like, especially in the media. I feel like he going through his hate train era. But as a whole, I do feel like this project is going to be received well. He's going to make some money. Will he lose fans because of this beef? No, I'm not feeling like losing fans. I feel like it's going to do well, but he will get more scrutiny for this next project, though. I do see that. I see him getting more scrutiny for this next project, especially from people in the industry that feel like, you know, they are bolder than to say what they want to say. Also, I'm going to tell you some other predictions I have for Drake when I was meditating on his energy at the end of this video. But let's go ahead and get into everything that's happening at his crib. Okay, people think it has something to do with Kendrick. I don't think this has something. Well, let's just see. Let's just see. I think this is more so EXO, which is the Weeknd label, but we're going to get into it. All right. Some people think this is staged, what's going on in his house. Is this staged? No. This is not staged, guys and goddesses. I know some people, you know, I get not liking Drake, but I'm picking up what's happening at his house is not staged. Is this tied to the Kendrick beef? In a sense, yes. This is what I'll say. Do I think Kendrick sent these people over to attack Drake's home or anything like that? No, not at all. I don't think that. But what I am thinking that's happening, what's coming to me is, you know, when that address was posted, just like when Kanye posted his address, I do feel like that did enable some crazy hysterical fans to come to his house. That's what I'm getting more so. There is some hysterical fans that's coming to his house more. I do feel like I see Drake. Will Drake stay at this home? No, I feel like Drake is going to move. I do feel like Drake is going to eventually move. But when I say it's tied to Kendrick, that's what I mean. Is it tied to Kendrick? Like, no, Kendrick did not send anyone to Drake's home to do anything personally. I just think that it's just some crazed fans. That's the energy I'm getting. Now, will Drake try to spin it like Kendrick? Yeah, he's going to try to spin it. I do feel like he's going to try to say Kendrick has something to do with it, which in a sense, kind of, because from his standpoint, you enable all these crazy fans to come to my house. That's how he's going to look at it. But in a sense, the energy I'm picking up, no, it's really more so these fans are doing this themselves. Now, is it tied to XO? Was this drive-by shooting tied to XO? Yes, I do feel like there is something going on with the Weeknd's camp and Drake's home. I do feel like there is that has some legs to it. Will Drake and Weeknd make up? No. Let's see. What is this all about between Drake and Weeknd? There's something going on with Drake and Weeknd. I want to see. Let's see. What is this all about with Drake and Weeknd? What is this all about with Drake and Weeknd? It's giving me pride and ego. A lot of pride and ego, if I have to be honest with you. Something that has to do with money. Some money deal not going good through. Or something of that nature. That's what it's giving me. This is about money. Yeah, this is about money and someone thinking someone's not being real. So I do feel like that's what a lot of this is about. I feel like it will be found out. I feel like it will come out what all of this is about eventually. I definitely feel like that. We're going to get information what this is all about. But I hope they really do be careful. All right, so this is some other downloads that I got. This is for the media. I do feel like media wants to be careful what they post on Drake, because I do feel like Drake is going to make an example of a media outlet. I do feel like Drake is going to sue someone. He's going to make an example, especially with those claims of him being a pedo. I really do feel like outlets need to be careful and not let their biasness get in the way. If that's the word, biasness. I do feel like Drake feels like the only way he can get through all of this is make an example. So I do see Drake. This is just coming up. You know, he did Gossip of the City. No shade, girl. I know she look. The reason why if you look at her page, she's biased towards Kendrick, but it's because Drake got her other page taken down because she reported some things. If I'm not mistaken, it was about Jam Master Jay's daughter. It might not have been that. It could have been that, but it might be about Jam Master Jay's daughter and Drake. I could be wrong, but for those of you who remember that, I do feel like media outlets need to look out, because I feel like Drake and his team, they're going to make an example out of someone. They feel like that's the only way that they can, like, shut down those claims. And I do feel like it's going to be a big deal. It's kind of giving me a little bit like Cardi B and Tasha K type thing, but on a bigger level, because I feel like Drake, you know, he does have the resources. So if you're reporting anything out there, I just say just make sure you use your allegedly. Be careful. Even if you got biasness towards one side, I even say this for Kendrick too, but if you got biasness, just be careful, because I do see Drake throwing some lawsuits. I see him throwing some lawsuits. I see him getting for everything. I see him getting pages shut down. I see him like responding his team. I definitely see that. I also feel like he might have a quote unquote crisis management team or someone trying to spin the public, and that's going to be one of the first things they're going to do. So I do see a big lawsuit that Drake is going to put out. Do I see people coming out saying things about Drake and these claims? Will someone come out? I do feel like there is going to be someone that does come out. Will they be substantial though? No, I don't feel like they're going to be substantial. I feel like they're going to try to come out, and that's what I'm saying. Like, be careful, because I feel like some people are going to try to get clout off of this, and they're going to try to use this to their advantage, but it's not going to go in their favor, and I feel like they will be sued. So I definitely feel like that. So you want to just be careful on how you report things. Let's see what else for Drake. Yeah, I see Drake suing like a lot of people, like cease and desist. Okay. I feel like Drake, it's one of those things, whoever gonna believe whatever they believe about Drake is that's what they're gonna believe. You know, it's one of those things. It's sort of like how Nicki, people believe things about Nicki, they just believe it, but it's gonna be when he's gonna try to do some cleanup, but you know, yeah. I see him collaborating with someone. Like he might collaborate with more like smaller artists, or like I keep seeing a lot of female artists too. He's gonna move from his home. I see him like moving. Yeah, I do feel like he's gonna take a little of hiatus, but I do feel like he's going, like, we're gonna see paparazzi amped up a little bit more around him, so he will be caught by paparazzi. Yeah, but there's gonna be a lot more PR stunts. Like I said, the cease and desist is coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if Drake throws around them lawyers, so y'all just want to be careful out there. That's it. That is what I'm getting for Drake. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. I'm so curious to hear from you all. And yeah, guys, the goddesses, until then, see you in the next video. Peace.